and welcome to Artists at Work. I'm Carol Medhurst. The Fire and Ice Gallery in England is home to some of the most well-known blacksmith artists in the world. It was established by a young man named Richard Quinnell. Richard Quinnell was behind the movement to bring back the lost art of the blacksmith artist. He is very well known and a very significant artist of the 20th century. Some of his works include the beautiful ironworks in England's lovely Shakespearean Globe, close to London. But our next guest is very significant and has some beautiful pieces also. He is an exciting man who is, we are very fortunate to have him here today because he is up and down ladders and always on the move, always creative. His name is Barry Wheeler. Welcome, Barry.
Hey.
Nice
welcome.
to have you.
Thank you. Thanks for the invitation.
And I do feel fortunate to have you because what happened to you yesterday? A little action?
Cleaning gutters and fell down off the ladder, so.
Well,
anyway, I'm in one
you
piece.
bounced. You bounced well.
Yeah, I sure did.
Yep. And I understand you had an MRI and everything.
Oh, yeah. They didn't use a siren, though, when they took me in.
I just wanted to tell our guests back home because the people we have on the show, you're all taking this very seriously and the show must go on, so I am thrilled that you're here.
That's showbiz.
Yes, that's showbiz. Well, I mentioned Richard Quinnell. Am I saying that right?
Yep.
Because I understand, I'm going to just embarrass you right off the bat, you were one of 11, 14 people.
Yeah, 14 altogether, yeah.
Tell us about this award that was given to you.
I guess he gives it at a big national blacksmiths do every other year. Started in 1976, and I think I was about the number 7 in the line.
Wow.
And it's for whimsical work.
Whimsical work, metal work.
Metal work,
It doesn't have to be just for the blacksmith arena.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is.
Oh, okay,
Yep.
all right. And is that what you call yourself? Are you a blacksmith?
Yeah, or I really like to say more of a metalsmith. That kind of encompasses, although I did
all
bring
arts.
Something made out of wood, but that's a different story, but it's all in the same.
Well, how did you get, I mean, this is the first time I've ever interviewed somebody that is a metalsmith or blacksmith. How did you get interested in this line of work?
I always had an interest in it, but I think it was maybe a trip to Williamsburg. Maybe I was late teens, early 20s.
Well, you come from a long line, though, of your ancestors and your family. Aren't they all very creative, hands-on type people who make things they love to just create?
Well, my grandfather, great-grandfather was a smith in Akron. His son, my grandfather.
A smith, that means a blacksmith?
Yep.
Okay.
And then his son, my grandfather, was the shop foreman at Akron Star Drill.
Oh, I see.
Big place.
Right.
Well drilling equipment. Then during the war, they made guns. And
so you were always around that.
Then
people
my uncle was also, he drove a big steam hammer there.
Oh, my.
So.
And all these people grew up in the Ohio area?
Yeah. And my maternal grandfather was a machinist for Goodrich.
My goodness.
So
you had to do this. But you went to Hiram for a while first, Hiram College?
Yeah.
And studied?
Okay, well, I'll get to German Lit and art history. That was my degree.
Well, art history, there you go.
Yeah.
Then you went off into the Navy, is that right? Or?
Yeah, well, I spent graduation at a beer hall in Munich, and then I got, this is 66, so Vietnam is going full tilt. And I got drafted, like on Tuesday, got accepted to the Peace Corps on Wednesday or vice versa, and decided after talking to somebody from the Peace Corps that the military was going to get me anyway. So I went there.
Good. Well, it was probably a good experience.
Yeah, I came back in one piece. That's
good.
Never had to fire a shot in anger.
Well, then when you came back, where did you first start as a blacksmith? Did I read Vermilion or? Yeah.
I was at a family reunion. My big idea was to make custom furniture. And at a family reunion, a cousin said, "I know this guy in Vermilion. Why don't you go see him?" So I did. He hired me. Good. And worked there for a while. Then I had.
As an apprentice, did you just start off kind of small, helping out?
No, just doing the work.
Jumping right in?
Just doing the work. And then I had the idea about the blacksmith shop, and Ted Wakefield, who was a mover and shaker in downtown Vermilion, rented me a little building right on Liberty, which is the main drag, for 25 bucks a month. And that was a deal even then. So that's where I started out.
That's where you started. Well, let's show one of your pieces, and then we can talk more about your history.
Well, kind of, this would be like...
Do you have a favorite here or something?
No, they're all my children.
I know you have many, many pieces that you could not even bring in.
Well, like this lamp. This is more traditional.
This is
stuff.
a lamp?
Yeah, it's called a Betty lamp.
Okay. I don't know if we should hold it up for the camera to see. I'll hold it up. This is a Betty lamp.
Yeah, I think that's...
Why is this Betty in here?
No, Betty was a contraction for better lamp.
Oh, okay. I see.
And that's a brass one. Traditionally, they were made out of iron, but you can't give away an iron one. People like brass ones.
Now, your work is very, would you say, whimsical?
Yeah.
You have a sense of humor.
But that isn't. That's more or less a reproduction.
Okay.
Okay.
Now,
And that was made in 1981.
I am really stupid here. I'm not understanding what's going on.
Oh, you put an oil in here.
Oh, I see.
All right. Kind of a grease. And then that's the wick, and you just light it.
Oh, lovely.
It would hang up.
Oh, well, there you go.
You know, and then this is a wick pick to kind of pull it up.
Uh-huh.
All right.
So now that's neat. And you said you kind of invented this, or you
No,
modified it from a piece that was already...
That's a reproduction.
A reproduction, okay.
So I did not invent that stuff. I did that kind of stuff early on, then I kind of shifted gears.
Well, when did you work at Hale Farms?
76 to 80.
All right.
During the bicentennial, B-U-Y.
76 to 80. And what did you do there?
The Smith.
The Smith,
yeah.
I see. And you made little trinkets and things for the store at Hale Farms?
And that would be all just traditional iron work and repair work for the building.
Well, that's a beautiful place to work.
Yeah, yeah. I will say, I don't know what it's like now, but it was the best group of people I ever worked with.
Really?
Yep.
Well, they were probably the true artisans and there because they wanted to be there.
And they liked to party.
And they did.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good reason to be there.
We could, a half a dozen of us could make a half a six-pack go a long way after hours.
Even after hours, that's good.
Yeah,
so when the
sure.
little children came through to see the sheep and the goats and the blacksmith, you were focused on your work.
Yeah.
As much as you could be.
Yeah.
And what is this piece over here?
This? Well, this is, let's see.
Are we going on a sink?
No, that's good. This is a piece of, it's hummingbird battle armor.
Okay. Hummingbird metal armor?
Battle armor.
Oh, battle armor.
Yeah.
Of course. Hummingbirds need armor.
That's right. Let's see, that,
maybe we could put it over here.
Yeah, sure. This is the second one. This big show I go to in Troy, Ohio, at Miami Fairgrounds, they have a main gallery and then a feature. And let's see, in 2009, the feature was birds.
All right.
So I figured the typical take is going to be bird baths, bird houses, bird benches, this sort of thing. And years ago, I made a piece that was about the size of a parakeet, looked like a hawk, like a raptor. And so I decided, well, I'll resurrect that old idea from 20, 30 years ago. And nothing moves on that. It's supposed to look like it moves.
Oh, well, then I did the right thing by touching it. I thought maybe his beak would open.
Nope, people try it, but
you are very smart.
It doesn't move. There's no reason for it to.
Right.
And the whole thing was inspired by Beta Beetler. She was a pretty well-known jeweler from Columbus. And she invited a bunch of Smiths to partake in a wearable art show. And I got this letter from her, and well, what happened? She, I didn't respond right away. So I got a second one, and she said...
They were after you.
Yeah. And she said, I want, remember, anything worn by man, woman, or beast, winged or otherwise. That was it.
And that was it.
And it had to, I wanted something small I could mail down to Columbus.
And you even have the little feathers there on the back.
Well, yeah, it's a bird.
Of course.
I mean, hey. So the other one is about the size of a parakeet.
Oh, I see, a little bigger.
Yeah, some lady in New Jersey bought that.
Well, this is nothing for you to do this small artistry here because you have many pieces. Can we hold up the? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off from the story.
No.
But I'm very intrigued with this. Is this a little battleship over here? Can we bring this piece?
Close, it's a tank.
A tank.
This is a, basically it's a model. Trouble with it, and it's not scale or anything like
That's
that.
all right.
If you make a scale model, you're just kind of mimicking somebody else, okay? So you
And
can
that's
take
not your intention.
No, it covers all the highlights. But what makes it a wheeler is...
That's right, and people kind of name drop with you. They say that's a wheeler because it has a unique quality.
yeah. So I put it running over the Hun there.
Oh, look at that little man. I wonder if the camera can get that. So does this piece come out?
What's that?
The little squashed legs, do they come out?
Yeah.
Do they move?
Yeah, well, they just...
Okay, let's show the folks back home. See the poor man.
The tank's
Very
got
good.
about 800 rivets.
So those are the
and
little legs.
400 parts in there.
800 rivets
Yeah,
and 400 parts.
yeah.
Oh my. Well, this was a very intricate piece. I don't know if the camera can see all these little rivets. Oh, and this actually moves.
Yeah, well, naturally, yeah.
Oh my goodness. Can I hold it up?
Yeah, it's a heavy little chunk, even though it's hollow.
Uh-oh.
Well, just
Is
leave,
this a
leave the feet down.
Is this a later piece of yours?
Well, what's it say on the... I always date stuff.
Now, are you married?
Yeah.
What does your wife think about all this?
Well, I'm fortunate I'm married to an artist.
Oh, you are. That's what I was
I
going
don't
to
have a
ask.
date on it. I have to
So
look
she
it up.
understands.
This
She
is
understands you
about 6,
completely.
7. Yeah, well.
As complete as she can.
I won't go there. Anyway.
But this is what, did you say about 10 years ago you made this?
Within 6, 7 years ago, I think, yeah.
Okay. Now I'm going to bring up something that we were talking earlier that I know kind of drives you crazy, and it drives a lot of artists crazy. So I'm going to bring it up to see how flustered I can make you.
Okay, okay.
The one thing on your little notes that you said you don't want, I can ask you anything, but don't ask you how long a piece took to make.
Right.
And that is because, can you tell the viewers back home? I understand as an artist myself, but.
Well, I don't know why that's always usually the first question that comes to mind. And it's not like, well, how did you do it? Where'd you get the idea from? And when I usually do something, I'll keep a log, but it's like on the 19th I made the feet.
Right.
On the 20th I did the turret.
Yes.
And then I had to file all this stuff away.
Yes.
So I guess that's why it's not.
It's not so much the person's interested in the piece; they
Yeah.
just want to know. Well, did that take you 4 hours,
Yeah.
or did it take you 50 hours? And
Right,
so, what's
right.
the big deal?
Exactly.
Right.
So everybody's got a goat tied up somewhere. That's where mine is.
That's right. And I like what you said about Michelangelo. You don't say, "Hey, Mick, how long did it take to do that ceiling painting?"
Right.
You know.
Another thing I get is somebody will look at it and they'll say, I don't have the patience to do that.
Well, I think I said that.
Well, a good friend of mine gets that reply too. He's really into this stuff, big time, and he says only doctors need patience. You know, it's not like there's a little other skill involved.
Well, you're
besides
creating
patience.
too, aren't you? I mean, you're not thinking about, boy, I better have patience and I better go slowly. You're just so absorbed, I would imagine, that you're not thinking about how much patience do I need or how much time do I need to get done.
No,
this is your work.
right.
This is your livelihood and your craft. This is what you do.
And my wife will affirm I have no patience. So.
She does. Alrighty, well, what else do we have? I don't want to run out of time.
Yeah, well, this is, I kind of dropped out of the whole scene about 1984 and laid off for, 15 years. And
You
I
did.
reacquainted myself with this group down towards Troy. This is my comeback piece.
So, no, wait, you reacquainted yourself in Troy and doing.
It was an organization, Blacksmith organization,
Okay.
which I was sort of a founder of it.
I
the
see.
organization that
What was that called?
Ohio Artists Blacksmiths Association.
All right, because I'm reading the Evening Star Forge. What was that?
That's the name of my business.
That's your business
Yeah.
now.
And I picked Evening Star because that's the star you would shoot for navigation in the Navy.
Okay, and
And
you're
I
out
worked
of
at evenings. Yeah.
and you're out of Ashland.
Ashland, Ohio. Yep.
Great. Okay. Well, that's not too far from here. at
No,
all?
well, I used to work in Twinsburg here. So I commuted for 20 years.
So if I want to get the plug in now, if people would like to come see you, I would love to come see your
please do.
your shop, store,
Studio.
Studio. I should have known studio.
Yeah.
So I can look up the Evening Star in Ashland
Yeah,
and
yeah.
find you.
That's right. Yep.
Okay, and bring my pocketbook of lots of money.
Oh yeah, sure. That's always good.
Okay. Okay.
Ralph here was directed towards the. I think the demographic was the adolescent male mind.
Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh, that's a good topic for any artist.
Yeah. So you put a penny in here. I don't know how the sound's going to pick this up. Let's see. I'm looking backwards here. He passes gas. He looks at you, lifts his cheek, and passes gas.
Oh, can you do that one more time? Do you have
Sure.
another penny?
It takes nickels.
Oh,
too,
it takes
dimes. Yeah.
All right. I like the look on his face. I like this.
Well, he's your basic good old boy there.
I do
think.
like this. Now, what is inside here? Just all the mechanics of?
Yeah, yeah. Usually these mechanical things, I like to put a door in the
Ooh.
back so you can, yeah, let's put that off to the side, so you can kind of get an idea of the machinery and stuff.
Yes, I'm going to turn this around.
But I don't know if the camera will pick that up or not.
Is he smoking a little cigar?
Yep, and drinking a beer.
And drinking beer with my glasses off? I can't see everything.
I don't need glasses myself, I just want them to see with.
Well, you look very intellectual. You look very good. I like your
Cool.
glasses.
Yeah, cool.
So back here, these are all the little workings.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you make clocks also?
Oh, no, that's a whole
No?
different,
A whole different ballgame.
whole different ballgame.
I see.
I don't have patience for clocks.
All right, so this is Ralph.
That's Ralph.
I
Lead
like
Ralph.
him.
He was inspired by a toy I heard about. It was like a ball. You squeezed it. It had a face on it, and it made it.
I would think
noise.
you would be good at making toys.
I never found one.
You
I
never.
just heard about it. And I look like all these Spencer gifts and places.
Well, and I was going to ask you, where do you get these whimsical ideas? Probably from bits and pieces, toys and
Well,
things you see.
I didn't know for sure, but I was fortunate enough to know Melvin Rose of Rose Iron Works in Cleveland on East 43rd. This is it should be a national treasure.
Really?
Yeah, it's a terrific.
Melvin Rose in Cleveland.
Yes, we lost him a year or two ago, but they've been in business since 1904. These were people, Hungarian, classically trained in ironwork.
I see. I see.
Melvin studied in Europe, and then
Did their family maybe come over at one point?
1904.
1904
yes.
from Hungary.
And Melvin would be second
see.
generation. Now his son Bob is running it, and it's just their shop is just. I mean, everything's a work of art.
Oh, now, do you know the location offhand of that?
I think it's East 43rd.
East 43rd. That would make sense. I think I've been by there.
It's Rose Iron Works. Just
Okay.
the building is really
Okay.
neat.
Well, maybe we should look that up. And what is this?
This last show I went to, the feature was traditional ironwork, which is spatulas, pokers, hinges, and this sort of stuff, which is not my shtick. So this is kind of a nod to John Deere. I'm sure you all heard of John Deere. He made his fame by coming up with a prairie plow. The eastern plows would not bust sod. And so that's my part of it. But to make it a wheeler, I put a vulture on it. Yeah.
That's very good. So this is the plow.
Yep.
And the wheeler, meaning the berry wheeler, unique look.
Yeah.
You've got the little vulture.
Right.
Very nice. Very nice. And is this this is where you tie the horses?
Yep. Yep.
And now what is this? Is this
Well,
this
you
is
stand
wood? The
behind
wood.
it. Yep, that's
And so you
beech.
carve the wood.
That's beech from the wood pile.
Lovely. Now what is
Silver beech.
I would imagine in your studio you have all kinds of. Would you do this with a saw? Would you cut any of these pieces with a regular hand saw or a miter box? Am I saying the right word? Or do you do all this with a hammer and a?
Just kind of, well, I use a bandsaw
You do.
and chisels, whatever. I brought
Okay.
kind of like in this business, it's, you kind of make your own tools.
Ooh, I like this tool.
And most of these are only what a mother could
Ooh,
love.
these are gorgeous.
Well, if you've ever seen
I love tools.
Oh,
I do love tools. These are beautiful. These
you've
are pieces of artwork.
you've seen an anvil, and it has a square hole in it. Do you know what that hole's called?
No?
It's called a hardy hole.
A hardy hole.
And this is a hardy. And there's umpteen different types of tools that fit into that square hole. But
Okay.
This would be made for cutting steel cold.
All right. Now, what kind of artist is your wife?
Well, okay. This is...
I know I'm veering the topic away from you, but...
No, I brought this. This is not made out of metal, but this is a collaboration.
Mm-hmm.
I made the plane. My wife did the pilot.
Oh, does she do clay works? Is that
Yeah.
what that is?
Well, that's made out of Sculpey.
Oh, lovely.